So in the previous episode, we were all together in person. That was fun. Now we're back on Zoom. And can we tell the people listening what we did after we recorded while still together in person? We were, or actually, you guys were competing who could do the best chicken noises.
Oh God.
Because you guys love making noises. I was not blessed with the ability to make noises. I can't even whistle, but I bet you guys have a mean whistle.
Oh, I can whistle.
Yeah, I do in fact love whistling.
I can't do chicken noises though.
Yeah,
I
Brianna
can
won.
make chicken noises.
I'm not going to ask you to make any chicken noises, but I do have to ask.
Can't whistle right now.
You can't whistle right now?
No, not working.
Not working? No, you can't whistle while working. Uh, but I was gonna ask, you can whistle, but would you whistle? Not for me, but in the woods at night.
100%.
You
Yeah,
would.
I've done it
No.
before.
No.
And so to get it straight, Angela would whistle in the woods at night, just not while working. But Brianna would not, under any circumstances, ever whistle in the woods at night.
No.
Let's talk about that. Welcome to our podcast, where we take deep dives.
Looking at various topics through a paranormal lens. I won't say that I haven't, but it's purely by accident because I whistle constantly and I just forget. So I don't purposely whistle in the woods at night, but it happens.
But you know about the folklore and the superstition, like, because it's across like every culture. It seems like Appalachian culture, Native American, all these cultures going back centuries tell you
Yeah.
not to whistle, and it's not even in the woods. Even like I was reading some sailors, some superstitions for sailors thought
Oh,
whistling
really?
mocked the wind, and it
Huh.
would bring upon storms. Like if it's a calm day and you whistle, that kind of cuts through the wind, signals
Did not
the
know
storm.
about this.
So from the land to the sea, there's all these superstitions about whistling. And when did you hear about this? Because I feel like I've only heard about all the superstitions about whistling when you, Brie, have accidentally whistled in the woods at night, and then someone says, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that," and I'm like, "Why?"
Yeah, I'm not sure where I first heard about the no whistling at night. It could be because I live more in northern Michigan and I do live in the woods that I'm trying to remember where I actually first heard the don't whistle at night thing. And
Well, but
can't I can't remember.
you just grew up with it. What about you, Angelila? When
Angela.
I don't know,
Angela.
trying something new. It didn't really stick.
Angelila Jolie.
Yes.
Gosh.
So Brandon's like
Uh,
grew up with it. Have you heard this superstition before?
Definitely not. I mean, I didn't really hear about it until I met you guys.
Huh.
So to me, I'm always like, who the fuck cares if you whistle,
Yeah.
you know?
I
Well,
don't even know if it's something that I grew up with. Like, I feel like it's something that I learned later.
it just happened along the. I mean, we've been doing it so long, like paranormal stuff, so long. It's
Yeah.
like different uh notions and different peoples and cultures, beliefs kind of intertwine with our investigations as a whole. That's why I like doing this podcast, because now we can actually date things that, like, when we have new ideas or theories or learn something, we have like a date and can track them. Um, but I'm kind of conflicted on the whole whistling thing personally, because the whole reason, I mean, people say it's bad luck. A majority of the people that warn against whistling, especially in the woods, is because it is essentially an invitation. Like when you whistle, you know, to your dog or, to another person, it's kind of like an invitation, like come here type of thing,
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
getting their
exactly.
attention.
And
Yeah.
it's kind of one of those things. It's like it's a universal language. So kind of like what we were talking
Mm-hmm.
about in the ritual episode, where it's like if you go up to an old ancient being that may not speak your English and you say, "What up, demon?" Like it might not respond, but if
What?
you whistle, everyone
Demon.
understands what you mean, you know? So you're
Yeah.
Mhm.
inviting things you may not know to come
Mm-hmm.
over and interact.
Yeah.
Um, and I assume that's your hesitation as well to whistle.
Yes. Yeah, that is what I've known as like being the superstition behind whistling at night in the woods, in a haunted location, really anywhere, is that it is a, I don't want to say summoning, but it's like it's a call out that, hey, I'm here, come find me or come to me or whatever. It's, and like, yes, we, when we're going on investigations, yeah, that's kind of what we do, but I feel like it's more in the superstition side of things. Specifically, it brings about mm, more beings and entities that are inhuman and we may not want to interact with, or at least I don't want to.
That's
Um,
that's the thing with me. I want to interact with them.
yeah. So, but also,
There's a time and place.
yeah. Also being someone who has been at a paranormal location and have had my whistle be mimicked back to me, I
Yeah,
don't
that was crazy.
necessarily like that.
We'll talk
Um,
about that later because
yeah,
we need to get into that.
because
But
we do need to
yeah,
talk about that.
yeah, but
Because I've talked to some paranormal investigators who are like, you should not whistle at all, like any time of the day in any haunted location. And it's like, I can understand that, but also at the same time, like, I don't know, I'll whistle tunes, and I feel like that um can be more of like a calming energy and bring about a different sort of energy into an investigation compared to just like a whistle for the purpose of trying to interact with something. I don't know if that makes sense.
Makes sense.
it does.
I get it.
For me, it's like I don't think if you're like in an apartment or a house and you whistle, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like to me the whole whistling thing, the reason I'm conflicted on it is because like whistling is loud and it cuts
Mm-hmm.
through the air and it reaches
Yes.
further than if you're just standing in
Mm-hmm.
the middle of the woods and you just say, "Hi, are
Come
you
here,
like doing
ghosts.
yeah, like doing an
Come here,
EVP
ghosties.
session and you're like, "Come here."
Yeah.
You're really only talking to the ghosts in your vicinity. If you whistle
Mm-hmm.
though, that goes so far into the woods that you are essentially projecting and calling
Mm-hmm.
out to things that aren't in your immediate vicinity. But if you whistle like in your house, like that's just gonna bounce back to you, I
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah.
So I
But I
do
don't,
believe there's an
you're
element.
talking. I feel like when you're saying that, you're talking as if like you know how sound bounces off walls and stuff like that. Like does like I feel like that doesn't necessarily count the same towards the spirit world. Like your whistle, they'll know it anyway. It's not like it's you know what I mean?
Well, is it the whistle itself, or is it the fact that? Because that's the thing. I don't think like the sound of a whistle is necessary. Yes, it is a more universal language than "Hey, demon, what's up?"
Yeah.
But I don't
Mm-hmm.
think it's the whistle itself. To me, my hesitation is you're then extending the conversation, and invitation to things that aren't in your
Yeah,
immediate
that's
vicinity. Like at Pere Cheney, for example, which is I think what we all are wanting to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we did the whole episode last week about Pere Cheney, what Pere Cheney is, the new documentary we have out, Pere Cheney Plague in the Pines, and we spent the whole episode talking about all the crazy shit that didn't make the cut. Well, we forgot to talk about this, and this is why I wanted to talk about whistling in this episode, is it's essentially a cemetery that's abandoned in the middle of the woods. The woods are hella haunted. The railroad track adjacent to the cemetery hella haunted. When we were filming, we split up, and you, Brie, were with who are you? You were with
I was
Riley,
with Riley, Tara, and Caleb.
and you were in the clearing in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and or you're sitting around a fire doing an Estes method session,
Yep. Yep.
and me, Angela, Trevor, and Tommy Tombstone, we were in the cemetery. And even though it's the same haunting, when you're in a cemetery, and we were investigating the grave of Augustine Odell, who's like a renowned veteran who is buried there. There's a lot of info on him in the Historical Society. We're trying to interact with him. If we're standing around a grave of a known resident and we're trying to interact with him, you want to do EVP. You want to talk to him. I don't want to whistle and bring all the potentially elemental, more inhuman, ancient stuff to the resting place of these human spirits. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my thing. Like, you're now extending the conversation beyond the grave in front of you to all the other things in the woods that could then hear that whistle and come. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like
Mm-hmm.
that's why I'm kind of
Makes sense.
weary about whistling.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
But there was a weird moment. We were around the grave, and well, actually, you need to set up what happened to you first, because there's a weird moment where we both on opposite sides of the woods. We were in the cemetery. You were like on the other side in this clearing.
Mm-hmm.
We both started without communicating with each other, in no way of knowing what each other was doing.
Yeah.
We both started whistling at the same time. We both decided to whistle without talking to each other, communicating. We had no idea what each other were doing. My group, we just looked at each other and were like, should we whistle? Just as a random thought. And then we started whistling. Then, on the footage, if you line it up,
Mm-hmm.
your group, Riley, just whistles, and then Tara, who has the Estes method set up, says, there was a whistle. You should
Mhm.
whistle. And then Riley whistles again, and then she says, another whistle.
That was so weird.
It was beyond crazy. So
Mm-hmm.
we were whistling to each other without knowing it.
Yeah.
I don't know, synchronicity,
Mm-hmm.
weird. And how can Tara, who has the headphones that are noise canceling, she was doing the Estes method, how can
Mm-hmm.
she
No, that
hear?
both we whistled and you guys whistled because she said whistle and another whistle. I don't know.
Yeah. And then right
It was
after,
just a weird situation.
Mm-hmm.
the whole thing was insane. And right
Yeah.
after
Mhm.
that, all the coyotes started howling too, and it was just
Yeah.
like
And the
the vibe.
whole everything just got so intense. It was so weird. But
Do you think, because again, this didn't make the film. This is one of those things. It's like you hear this and you're like, how did that not make it in the film? But this isn't a spoiler because it is legit not in it at all. If you want to see what actually made the film, you can stream it right now on Paraflix. It's called Pere Cheney, Plague in the Pines. Go watch it. But do you guys think the whistling, when you put it like that we had this whistling moment, and then all the coyotes started howling, and do you
Dude,
think they
I
might
don't
have?
think that was a coincidence,
yeah,
honestly. Because shit
I
hit the
don't
fan
it
so
really did.
fast.
I don't think I can't say it was or wasn't a coincidence. I I don't know. It's hard to say because like we're in the woods. A lot of things can explain just being in the woods. But
Hmm.
you do have the factors of everything else that was going on at that point. It's almost too much to say it's just coincidence.
Brie, can whistling, like if you have a lot of whistling, could that stir up animals at all, just normally, or do they not normally respond to human
They don't
whistles?
they don't normally respond to human whistles that I know of.
Now, we did a Bigfoot hunt. I think we might have talked about it on this podcast.
Yeah.
We did a
Yeah, we
Bigfoot
did.
hunt many
Mhm.
years ago. There are some weird Bigfoot calls that kind of incorporated whistling in them. What do
Yes.
you make of that? Because that's kind of.
I I was thinking about this just before the podcast because we were talking about a different project and I was thinking about how similar it is to Bigfoot hunting. And I'm like, Oh yeah, one of the calls for Bigfoot hunting is whistling because supposedly that's one of their forms of communication along with like wood knocks and howling. And it's like, how, why? I'm just baffled at like, because like you watch those Bigfoot documentaries and stuff, and they'll sometimes get like whistle responses, and it's like, is that actually Bigfoot? Is that something else? I don't
I
know.
I don't know. So why is Bigfoot whistling and knocking on trees,
I don't
but
know.
like he's not, you know, he's not. No one's finding his fur, his poop, sketchy footprints. No one's seen him, caught him, but he's just sitting
Well,
there
people have said
whistling.
that they've seen their footprints, but like you don't really get any
A
other
few.
evidence of
I mean,
like
some people
anything else
claimed
of Bigfoot.
claim to have found Bigfoot hair. Um,
True, but did they ever
I
get
call
it tested
BS.
or anything by a
yeah.
scientist
I
to
mean,
see if
there
it
there is
matches
one
anything
show I
else?
was watching on Discovery for a while that was like a Bigfoot hunting show, and they were very sciencey about the whole thing, and they'd collect like samples and they would send them out for testing. But were they actually sending them out for testing? You
Who
could say
knows? If
any,
it's a bigger show, maybe.
yeah, you can literally say anything on TV and like be like, yeah, we're sending this out for testing, and like later say, yeah, this came back as this, and there's
Mm-hmm.
no way to verify that that's
I'm
real.
I'm thinking of like Expedition X. And,
Mm-hmm.
like they do that a lot, but
Yeah.
like sometimes not. They'll go over to the place where the lab or whatever that they send
Mm-hmm.
it off to, and then they talk to the actual scientists and
But
be like,
who's
"Oh
to
yeah,
say
this is
that
what
lab or
this."
scientists are actually like a real lab and real
And
Exactly,
scientists?
exactly. It's
even
hard.
if
It's
they
hard to
are, it's
know.
like yeah, there you should do follow-up testing, and there's like more to testing than just one quick like the minimum testing you need just to get a
Yeah.
false
Yeah.
positive to be able to say on TV, "Oh, this was really weird," and then say
Mm-hmm.
quietly, "Will require a lot more testing to see if it actually could be a Bigfoot." You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just yeah,
But yeah,
I
so
think it's all
like
BS. But
yeah. So the whistling thing with Bigfoot and like whistling in the woods, it's like I don't know what to think of it. I'm
I
just
I want to go Bigfoot hunting. And go to like the number one place that Bigfoot is seen in Michigan. We set up a camp all night and we just whistle nonstop and hit wood and see if we can attract Bigfoot. Or do you think it can also attract Dogman as well? I wonder if that would work for Dogman.
I guess throw a dart at any random paranormal thing, and if you whistle, it knows how to whistle
I
back.
know.
I just
That would
think
be
it's
so fun to do. Like, let's go like legit camping in the middle of the woods where no one will hear us scream and like try to get Bigfoot to come out or Dogman.
see my I I have gone Bigfoot hunting with Ben before, but my hesitancy with like Bigfoot hunting or even Dogman hunting is like if these creatures actually exist and you do find one
what do you
and
do?
you are in its vicinity, you're not getting out of there.
I think yeah,
Like,
this is a dumber idea than whistling to a demon.
it,
Like
yeah.
Pere Cheney's cemetery, we're saying like we're wary of whistling because an inhuman ancient elemental might come up. You know, is
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
this is a dumber
Dude,
idea. You're talking about, I mean, it's cartoonish to me to think about Bigfoot standing there, sitting behind a tree whistling,
Yeah.
while avoiding all detection. But seriously, like a dog man or any cryptid just whistling
yeah,
until
I'd
one
definitely be
comes.
more scared of Dogman um than Bigfoot for sure. Have you guys heard that audio of that guy in the woods, like driving his truck and Dogman like it was like a 911 call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
heard of that? Like that was
we heard it
that's a
at
whack phone call right there.
Mm-hmm.
we heard it at
That's
the MSU
terrifying.
Paranormal
Yeah.
one time.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Mm.
did.
Is that real? Sorry, I'm off tracking, but I genuinely want
I
to know if
don't
it's real.
I don't know. I
Just you
If
would
it,
gotta.
on the side of caution, I would say no, but also like I have no idea.
Well, if it's not real, like, are you asking is it a dog man? Probably not. But you have to assume that could be an animal. So why would you go there and try to taunt that potentially real animal to come see your camp?
I
Yeah.
don't know, just to figure out if they're real.
I
Isn't
don't
that the
think
point of doing any of this?
I don't again going back to like not every mystery needs to be solved. I don't want to or care to be the person that proves if Dogman is real or not.
That's so
It's
fair.
like
That's
let
so fair.
someone else that has no sense of self-purpose in life go out and do that.
Instead of camping, we could find a cabin that's in the middle of the woods so we have an actual building to protect ourselves.
But I've seen Cabin in the Woods.
God. No, not
Also,
that movie.
like,
Not like that now.
if Dogman really wanted to get into a cabin or Bigfoot, they would. You're not gonna
Yes,
stop them.
that is true. They're probably very strong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, have you seen Bigfoot kicking down doors? He's got those big ass feet.
How did the conversation devolve from whistling to this?
What do you mean devolve? Evolve. No, drop that D. Okay, so speaking of cartoonish Bigfoot scenarios, imagine Bigfoot walking up, seeing a cabin, and just like tapping his toe on the door, and it just crumbles and falls down because he has such big feet.
That's
And
crazy.
and then they look at him in panic, and they're like, "Oh, Bigfoot!" But then he just like whistles and runs away.
He whistles to attract his other Bigfoot friends in the area.
He just whistles a little tune like Brianna. He like whistles a Yankee Doodle. What is it? Yankee Doodly Doo? What's that
Yeah,
song?
it's you added too many syllables. It's just Yankee Doodle. But also, that's not a tune that I usually whistle, so
Mm. It sounds like we. Well, me and Brie sound like we are in sync here. But it
And what
sounds
you're
like.
saying about me?
Well, it sounds like you.
How I'm not in sync?
I mean, I'm not saying that's bad. I think it's good.
I don't think
Uh-huh.
any of us are NSYNC, the boy band.
No, no. I'm just saying Angela's like all gun ho. She's like, let's whistle to demons. Let's whistle to Dogman. Let's whistle to Bigfoot. I just want to whistle all night and see who comes to say hi. Um, no care in the world. She just loves
Oh, that'd
whistling.
be so fun. And imagine if you like survive the night, the stories you'd be able to tell.
If you survive the night, if you survive the night.
If we survive the night.
Here's the difference between me and Brie and you, Ange. When I go
I'm not
on a
going alone, okay?
yeah, well, you probably will be because we don't. Me and Bree, we don't go on ghost hunts. We're on an invitation that says, "Yeah, so we're gonna do this, this, and this, and then if we make it out alive, we'll talk about it on the devolving podcast next week." That's
Yeah.
we don't like that if we make it out alive
So
Mhm.
clause.
when
No.
we make it out alive, which is
Exactly.
a
There you go.
100% fact that we will.
Yes.
Is that better?
There's a lot of
Manifest that the survival will happen.
I feel like I need to talk to my attorney before I agree to any of this.
Not your HR manager?
No,
I can get
she
our
bumped. I talked to my HR manager. She said this is there's a lot of strings attached and it's getting kind of tricky, so we need to bump it up to legal management. So
yeah.
Yeah, I did say those exact words, didn't I?
yeah, hey legal team, what's up? This bitch wanted to whistle in the woods. Yeah, that's a little risky,
No.
eh? We can't
Eh?
take that.
Eh?
We can't let you do that.
Oh gosh.
Um,
Sorry,
so
I'm making notes about what we should and should not do.
You need to make actual notes.
Oh, what did you write verbatim? I'm curious about the whistling in
Well,
your
I'm not.
notes.
I'm writing nothing for verbatim, but I'm just gonna say one of the things is that we're gonna go out camping in the middle of the woods or rent a cabin, and we're gonna whistle all night.
Where
We'll
did you
hire a
write that?
professional whistle, huh?
Where did you write in that do or do not part of it?
The do part of it.
So what's the do not part?
Oh, I didn't get anything yet for that. No, the do not part. It's don't whistle for Dogman. That's the do not part.
I don't think you can differentiate your whistles, Angela.
Well,
What are you gonna do? Like, whistle one way for Bigfoot and whistle like you're calling a
no.
dog for Dogman?
Okay, but
Like, come here, Dogman!
Whistle once for yes, twice for no. Are you dog man?
okay, no, but here's a theory. Do you know how people think like Bigfoot is a spirit or
Yeah.
maybe an
Yeah, or
alien
like a
or
hide
something
behind or
even? Or
like a
something.
interdimensional being.
Yeah, so if that's the case, to like shouldn't you have to like summon these creatures to get their attention? So if you're whistling specifically only for Bigfoot, shouldn't it only be Bigfoot that comes out? I mean, not necessarily, but like, isn't that like,
So you're saying the intention behind the whistle means more than the actual whistle itself?
yes,
Hmm.
maybe. I mean, I don't know. I'm not no expert in whistling in the woods,
This
but
sounds too
this
much
is
like
just a
a
theory.
this sounds too much like a ritual where I was saying that the with rituals one can argue that intention is more important than actual ritual because if you put all your intention into it at that point the ritual itself is just theater and it sounds like if you intend to summon Bigfoot whistling is just theatrics for your intention to find Bigfoot.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
So I don't like that.
I don't know.
Now everyone's gonna be scared to whistle because we're
At
talking
night.
about whistling in the same way we're talking about rituals.
Well, I mean, it kind of is. It could be like a ritual to a certain extent.
Okay, but like,
It
what's the
could
difference
be.
I do see the point.
You
now?
you you get it, Brianna, right? I
Yeah.
mean, this is just all talk, you know. I don't know. I don't know. Does this really count as a ritual? Maybe if you make it one, but maybe not. Does the intention have a big part with the whistling? Possibly. I bet it can, but could it also attract anything in the area or whatever? Possibly yes too. I don't know.
My thought is like, what's the difference between? Because really, if you're just talking about a universal sound that cuts through airwaves, to attract things, what's the difference between a whistle and a bell? Because we use bells in rituals. And
Hmm.
remember, we used a old altar bell that is in the shape of an owl when we filmed Seven: The Mystery of Jacques, and when we rang it to mark the end of the ritual, an owl actually hooted in response to
Hmm.
us ringing an owl bell.
Wow, that was so cool. So cool.
And I don't know, can you kind of view whistling in that way too, of like that same purpose? Because that's kind
Maybe.
of creepy if it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
I think if
I
you
think
think
you
hard
could.
enough about it, you could.
Hmm. That's what
So
I.
the point is, we should be weary about how
Whistling.
and when we whistle in the
Yes.
woods at night.
Yes. I agree to that statement. Angela's like, you guys didn't hear a single thing I said.
No, we did. Um,
She's like, I'm still gonna whistle in the woods at night.
and that
That's
and that's
exactly.
okay.
I'm reading it go across your forehead, Angela.
That's okay. Just make sure you are safe enough in the process to be able to tell us how it went on our devolving
No,
podcast the
it's
next
gonna
week.
be with you guys. I'm not gonna go alone. And I can't just invite my non-paranormal friends or family because they're not gonna fucking understand it, and then the shit's not gonna work. You know, I need you guys there with me.
That might be best actually, because people that understand whistling are more likely to be chicken shits about whistling than
Mm-hmm.
people like you think your mom if she goes out there and she's like, "You want me to whistle? Okay," she'll just whistle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she
No,
probably would, honestly.
But
knowledge
Maybe
you
I
isn't.
know,
should invite my mom out, okay?
but if you think
Yeah.
about it in that way, like how many like normal, regular, average Joe people whistle at night and nothing happens to them.
True.
The more you know, the more scared you're likely to be because you know the
Yeah.
potential risks.
And we've had this conversation before where I don't remember which episode, but I know we talked about it where we think um being scared as a big influence for the activity that happens around you, you know?
Yeah.
Like it causes energy. So if you're like really scared to whistle out in the woods and you whistle, okay, maybe that's going to cause some activity to actually happen compared to a person who's not scared to do it, who doesn't know these things about whistling. And if they whistle out in the woods, no, nothing's going to happen, you know?
Yeah.
I'm on to something.
So whistle
You
in the
are.
woods, don't whistle in the woods. It's up to your decision, you
What
listener.
I what I'm thinking so far is that it's really up to an individual if they whistle and if anything really actually happens.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with, I mean, also in the parent, we're never telling people to or not to do anything. Like, you're your own humans, do whatever you want to do. Even the three of us have varying uh, opinions on pretty much every topic, so, it's not surprising that we all don't really know where to land with, should you or should you not whistle, but it does sound like there's a potential to interact with something you might not know you're interacting with. If that's any
Mhm.
more or less of a risk than any other paranormal device or methodology, I don't know, but you know, certain people in certain situations could conjure or summon or invite something to interact if they do whistle. I don't know, is
Yeah,
that broad enough to encompass everyone's opinions?
I feel like it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I want guests on this show to get other people's opinions, not just ours.
Yeah, we'll start doing
One
guests
day.
this year. It's 2026 now. Um,
Yeah,
I finally got out of it was February 2nd for, a year there. And now that we're making progress forward, we have a movie out. It's no longer Groundhog's Day. I get to listen to new episodes and go on new adventures with you. Maybe we'll have a guest on soon.
Yeah, I'm glad you were
yes.
finally able to escape your time loop.
Yes. For those that are unaware, Groundhog's Day was a movie where basically this
Don't do
guy.
this again. Do not do this again. I will leave.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Paranormal Lens. If you liked what you heard, every 5-star rating and positive review tells the algorithms we're a worthy podcast and pushes us out to more listeners. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we'll see you next Thursday for another paranormal deep dive.